Over the last few weeks, the public has read and heard all sorts of claims and allegations from senior members of the French Cameroun government and their proxies abroad following the indictment and the following judicial proceedings against some US citizens of the former British Southern Cameroonian origin. The indictment has been for alleged crimes related to kidnappings for ransoms, to fund separatist militia activities and the ongoing armed conflicts in the Southern Cameroons. The charges are specific as stated, with the plaintiff rightly being the United States of America and not the Cameroon government. Fellow Ambazonians, this is where we will begin the full briefings of Undaunted tonight. Stasmar is here as always. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Onyi, and good evening, fellow Ambazonians. The alleged crime, if proven, are crimes that violate the U.S. Constitution and therefore punishable, irrespective of who committed them, worth stating here that the ongoing investigation by the U.S. judiciary does not in any way suggest the U.S. government's position on the ongoing conflict in the Southern Cameroons, also known as the Ambazonia. Well, it has changed or is shifting. It is a judicial matter for alleged crimes that purportedly violates the U.S. Constitution, contrary to the concerns and fears nursed by many Southern Cameroons Ambazonians. The U.S. government still strongly recognizes and sympathizes with the legitimate plight and the struggle of the people of the former British Southern Cameroons.
The U.S. government also rightly acknowledges their persecution by the French Cameroun government. Reason why the U.S. government recently awarded U.S.-based indigents from this region the temporary protection status, that's the TPS, a move that is more of a government policy position. Unlike French Cameroons, the U.S. is a country of law with a clear separation of powers that establishes three separate but equal branches of government. That is, the legislative branch that makes the law, the executive branch that enforces the law, and the judicial branch that interprets the law, with nobody above the law, not even the president. If there is probable cause that suggests a crime that has been committed, it will be investigated as it is the case now, and the accused persons remain innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, having said that, the ongoing investigation and indictment does, however, give a rogue nation like Cameroon reasons to spin the story to their advantage and emboldens the regime to further persecute the already suffering and marginalized population of the Southern Cameroons Ambazonia. While it can be rightly asserted that there has been a significant level of frustration at both the national and the internal level, given the amount of excesses and egregious abuses, including kidnappings, both real and some separatist fighters, and stage scenes by sponsored proxies of the regime, the burden and the weight of crimes against humanity committed by the French Cameroun's government forces should not be overlooked. The La République du Cameroon's government must be held accountable for fomenting this conflict and must bear responsibility for a large number of the heinous and well-documented crimes committed on the ground against the people of the former British Southern Cameroons Ambazonia.
As we read, there is a strong case being filed against colonial La République du Cameroun government at the ICC by an international team of legal experts. In their 200-page legal brief filed in March 2022, these legal experts, all well-versed and familiar with such cases, have provided the ICC Prosecutor's Office with facts and well-documented evidence of crimes against humanity committed against the people of former British Southern Cameroons Ambazonia, commonly referred to as Ambazonians. Now, with such a high-profile case pending, where most senior La République du Cameroun government officials could be individually indicted for crimes against humanity, given their direct or indirect contributions in the ongoing conflict, it is therefore but normal to expect the Yaoundé government to spin whatever is happening in the U.S. to their advantage and take it out of context. One and only one fact remains clear, and that's truly committed to the plight of the people of the Southern Cameroon must remain steadfast and not be distracted or deterred by the ongoing judicial proceedings in the United States. As the interim government has said repeatedly on numerous occasions, those who have in the course of this struggle committed or continue to commit crimes against innocent civilians will be punished accordingly but it is now or when the guns go silent.
Well, every struggle of this nature goes through a process of self-purification. Hence, the ongoing proceedings in the United States could also be seen as a wake-up call to all concerned to sit up and work towards the common good of the people of the former British Southern Cameroons so that peace can return rather than blindly continuing along the path of selfish interest, greed, self-aggrandizement, and ill-calculated power-mongering tussles. Well, contrary to the perception being sold to the public and the international community by the La République du Cameroon's genocidal government, as evidenced in a recent statement released last week by the Cameroon's permanent mission to the United Nations, in which dozens of malicious claims have been made with regards to the government's effort and holistic approach to resolve the ongoing conflict. The world should know that little or no genuine effort has been made thus far to address the root causes of this conflict. Rather, cosmetic and most often manipulative attempts have been made here and there with the sole intent to further weaken, divide, and erase whatever identity is left of the people of the former British Southern Cameroons. Other than the creation of a few good-for-nothing and worthless organizations with hand-picked regime loyalists and members of the ruling party as members of bodies like the regional councils, the regional executives, the public conciliators, the House of Chiefs, the Commission for Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, etc., with zero autonomy, there is not a single act to suggest that the Yaoundé government is truly committed to resolving this conflict. If the regime is true to itself, as it wants to portray, it should allow an independent fact-finding mission into the country to conduct an independent assessment of the situation, followed by an independent third-party process to mediate a settlement of the conflict.
The French Cameroun government's only peace strategy mimics that is the feudal society with the use of manipulative tactics, the military and the resilience on the passage of time, where it hopes the people's resolve for their plight will diminish over time and subsequently vanish. Unfortunately, this will only prolong the conflict with the danger of an escalation in the future. Now, to conclude, worldwide should therefore not give credence to any such manipulative move by a regime that has no interest whatsoever in resolving a conflict that has killed tens of thousands, displaced over 2 million, with hundreds of thousands of kids still having no access to education since 2016. Right, this particular piece was written by Eric Achar as edited for Undaunted.